Backup vocal.
Crowd noise.
Jim Morrison's used to having backup singers.
Eyes on the store.
Welcome back to Horden Park for the second innings of this match. Auckland in pursuit of Wellington, Tasman's enormous 331 without loss. I believe it's the highest score in IPT history. There were a couple of 300 plus scores last year, but I'm pretty sure this is higher than any of them. And Auckland have sent out John Cleland and John Voinovich, so a pair of Johns, to try and chase down this huge target. Opening the bowling for Wellington Tasman will be Simon Clark. From the Hills End. Looks like all in readiness. The umpire calls play. Simon Clark was a late addition to this squad, was initially named in the Division 2 side, but got the promotion when Stephen Hewson had to pull out of the Division 1 side due to a sore shoulder. Bit short again, but slightly fuller. Clark plays for the North City Club in Wellington. I think he plays for their first team or second team. It's a good stand. And he's bowling to John Voinovich, who is playing his first match of over-50s cricket. Had a bit of a taste of things with the ball. Might not have enjoyed that quite so much. Now he's got to come out and score at 7.4 and over. Short again, and Voinovich pulls him, but got covered up there in the shape of... Who's that? Scott McCarty? The singles off short deliveries to the opening batsman so far. Scott Cardy will open the bowling from the city end. He didn't get a bat today, mainly in the side as a batter, although he can bowl medium pace and keep wicket. So it is cold out there. It's apparently got cold throughout the day so far, according to the... We have, 4 or 5 very good batters, particularly Adrian Dale coming in at number 3 and Chanawira Paruma, I presume, at 4. But a lot will depend on that top 4. Mind you, Wellington Tasman only used 4 batsmen, so maybe that's enough. 3, in fact. That one is sliced away. There is a third man who will come around and cut off the boundary, but not before they get 2. Tied over from McCarty to start. 3 runs and 2 leg byes off it. In the game between Districts and Canterbury Otago, Districts are chasing 240 runs to win that game. They are 24 without loss. Robbie Laird and Bert Horner opening the batting for them. I'll give you the scores in the other games in a moment. As Clark continues, that's a good delivery. Beats the outside edge of Vojnovic, and Mason Robinson can't gather it either, so it heads off for a bye. Bit short again from Clark, and he's pulled around the corner, but there is protection there. I think about 2, but it's never on really. So another one for Cleland. One slip in place. We've got 2 boundary riders, it looks like. Square leg and third man. And fine leg as well, sorry, 3 of them. That's what you're allowed for the first 15 overs. After 15 overs, you're allowed 4 men out, and for the last 15 overs, you're allowed 5. So 3 distinct blocks of 15 overs in terms of the fielding restrictions at this level of cricket. Good length and good pace from Simon Clark. The Wellington Tasman batsman said that the ball was moving around a fair bit at the beginning of their innings, with Dean Askew and Ravi Pereira getting some seam movement in particular. But it definitely got a lot easier, as the score would suggest. Oh, it looks like a fantastic piece of stumping from Mason Robinson. He's known for his leg side stumpings, and he's pulled off another screamer there. It's wide. It's been signalled wide, but Robinson, despite the injury that forced him off the field while he was batting, he's managed to so it's John Vojnovic is the first wicket of the day, and he is stumped by Mason Robinson off the bowling of Simon Clark for 2, I believe, and the score is 9 for 1. So, perfect start for Wellington Tasman, defending this enormous target, and not so great for Auckland, losing one of their Johns. But it does bring Adrian Dale to the crease, the all-time leading run scorer in over-50s cricket in New Zealand, the New Zealand captain. Hasn't played a lot of cricket this season like most of the Aucklanders due to the city of Auckland being in lockdown for most of the first half of the cricket season. And he's sometimes a little bit of a rusty starter, Adrian, so we'll see how he goes. Plays that one comfortably enough, dropping it into the onside for a run. End of a successful over for Wellington Tasman and for Simon Clark. In Division 2 over at Oliver Park, Wellington Tasman and Auckland are playing in that game as well. Wellington Tasman 28 without loss after 7.5 overs. Adrian Dale straight onto his favoured cut shot, but no run. Well fielded there at point by Scott Pender. Hey, straight into another aggressive shot, Adrian Dale. He's whacked that over mid-wicket for 4, so I think he recognises that this is a big target. He hasn't got a lot of time to work himself into this innings, and he also probably realises that Auckland's hopes lie largely on his shoulders. So boundary off his third ball. But again, can't beat the recognising that there's going to be a lot of action in that area. They put their best 2 fielders there, Hamish French at cover and Scott Pender at point. 2 very athletic guys. Well bowled from McCarty. Didn't really give Cleland much to do there. Looks like we might be getting a bonus ball in this over. This is the 7th ball of the over. What happens? Just a single to Cleland down to deep square leg. So 17 for 1 after 4. The run rate required has already crept up to nearly 7.7. John Cleland's last over-50s match prior to this one was for the North Island against the South Island. He scored a century. So even though it was almost a year ago, you could say he's in good form. As Clark continues, and Cleland cuts down to third man just for 1. Speaking of centuries, Adrian Dale has scored 5 of them at over-50s level. That's more than any other New Zealand player. He scored over 1,000 runs at this level as well, which is also of the next player, which is Richard Petry. Almost an identical shot to the one that Cleland just played, down to Jason Kilworth, who's fielding at third man. Full, and it's driven, and he's found the gap at cover, and it's raced away to the fence at the far end of the ground there. Even Hamish French couldn't get down on time to stop that one. Beautiful drive from John Cleland. So they've got 6 of the 7.6 runs that they need off this over already. And we can add another 1 at least to that. Maybe 2. No, they decide against it. Good fielding from Horn. Moving his way around from fine leg. Expansive drive from Adrian Dale gives Jason Kilworth some more work to do down on the third man boundary, but he's able to do it, and again it's just a single. Leg glance this time from Cleland down to fine leg, and it's another single. So we've had 5 singles plus the boundary in that over equals 9. So without too much trouble they've managed to get what they need from that over. And the score is 26 after 5 overs. These 2 batsmen from the same club in Auckland, that's the Cornwall Cricket Club, which hosted the IPT last year. They've played a lot of cricket together, these 2. pulled away by Cleland. He hasn't timed it though, and it's only gone as far as square leg, where the fielder there sticks out a hand and keeps it to 1. Another whip away through mid-wicket from Adrian Dale, almost identical to the one he played off the third ball he faced. Just a wristy flick through straight mid-wicket, and that's gone away for 4. So that's Adrian Dale's second boundary. They both come in the same area off the same bowler, and he's moved up to 12 off 9 balls. So it's not a typical Adrian Dale innings. He usually likes to take 10 to 12 balls just to get his eye in and get used to things, but today, recognising that he needs to score pretty big innings pretty quickly, he's moved straight into his work. 12 off 9 balls. Okay, tried to plug that gap by moving long on a lot squarer, and he bowled out wide outside the off stump, so he's protected that area that conceded the boundary the last ball, but he's opened up another strength of Adrian Dale's, which is the square cut. And Dale gleefully accepted the opportunity. And he follows it up with a wide outside the off stump, swinging away by the looks of things. And again, Auckland have reached their target for this over without seemingly too much trouble. They've already got 10 off this one, and still a ball to come. Cut again, but and Scott Pender can't get down to that one, so there will be a run. Full this time from McCarty, just driven to Hamish French in the covers to end the over. 2, 10, 11 off that, another good over for Auckland. They're up to 37 after 6 overs. Districts are in a bit of trouble against Canterbury Otago, chasing 240. They are 30 for 3. Robbie Laird is out for 13. Bert Horner, the captain, out for 3, bowled by Kelvin Scott. 26 balls it took him. And Steve Kane out for 4. Currently Adil Samani and Chris Jeffries at the crease there. 30 for 3, chasing 240. So a bit of work for those guys to do. There is 4 Wellington. Clark again to Dale. Cuts that one off the stumps, but an athletic bit of fielding from Scott Pender rolling away at point keeps it to just 1. Full and driven through the covers by Cleland. I'm not sure he's got all of it. may reach the boundary. It has. The fielder gives up there. It's one of the longer parts of the boundary there, so well hit by John Cleland. Gives him his second boundary, and he moves up to 17 from 18 deliveries. Chasing 7.5 and over. Dab down to third man, just for one for Dale. That one stopped in the covers, and it brings the 7th over to a close. 7 runs off it. Even though Wellington Tasman did end up with that enormous score, they were only going at 4.5 runs and over for the first 10 overs, so in that sense Auckland keeping up with things, although they have lost a wicket where the Firehawks didn't lose one throughout the entire innings. McCarty continuing here. He was born in Blenheim here, spent his formative years here, went to Marlborough Boys College. Now what's happened there? It's gone down the leg side. A call for a stumping. If he hasn't hit it, then it would presumably be a wide, but not called. Scott McCarty then left for Otago, I believe, played first-class cricket for Otago, then moved to Wellington, played first-class cricket for Wellington, played a high level of cricket in England as well, league cricket. That's another leg side delivery, and that one is called a wide this time. McCarty played most of his cricket primarily as a batsman, but didn't get a chance to bat today, so he's get some work as a bowler. Dale has cut that out towards the cover boundary, won't make it as Scott Pender hairs after it and relays the ball back to Hamish French, and we keep it down to 2. Good over this so far, just the 3 runs off it from McCarty. And he finishes with a dot. So pretty good over from McCarty, that one. Just 3 from it, and the score is 47 for 1 overs. Run rate required 7.7. Looks like a wicket in the Division 2 match between Auckland and Wellington Tasman. Martin Pike been given out LBW. It's a big wicket. He's one of the main batsmen in the Wellington Tasman Division 2 side. quite prolific at that level. So 41 for 2 Wellington Tasman in that match after 12 overs, chasing 194, so anyone's game there. It looks like another boundary to Cleland as he slaps it away through cover. Plenty of gaps out there, and once it gets through the gap, it's invariably gone to the boundary today with a fast outfield, so well done to Cleland. Short again, pulled again by Cleland, but again down to the well-placed fine leg. Cleland just maybe needs to get those pull shots just a little bit squarer. Because Clark does bowl quite a lot of short stuff. Shortish. Short again, cut by Adrian Dale. That's a shot that he very rarely misses out on. Down to Jason Kilworth, who's been quite busy in that third man area so far. And it's just the one to Dale. These two batsmen going head to head. Adrian Dale's on 22 from 21. John Cleland's on 23 from 22. So pretty much neck and neck. 3 boundaries apiece. Ooh, another aggressive shot, but he's caught this time by Jason Campbell at point. Cut it away a little bit uppishly, obviously, and couldn't get over the fieldsman that time. So, Auckland lose their second wicket. That was an important one for them. John Cleland was looking pretty good, but he's fallen, caught at point by Jason Campbell off the bowling of Simon Clark, 4-3. Auckland 53 for 2. The incoming batsman for Auckland is Chana Weeraparuma, member of the Sri Lankan Over-50s team that played at the 2020 World Cup. Did pretty well in that tournament actually. He was, I think, the 5th leading run scorer. Scored runs against Australia and might have West Indies. He's a left-hander, quite a stylish player, generally aggressive. So Auckland will really be hoping that he can come off today, because they've already lost their 2 openers, the 2 Johns, Cleland and Voinovich. And that's 2 more wickets than Wellington Tasman lost in their entire innings. Slip in a gully for Weeraparuma. He starts with a wide, obviously bowling to the right-handers. Has to change his line a little bit now. Clark just pulls out of his delivery at the last moment there. Wiraparuma also had a pretty good IPT last year. Didn't get any big scores, but I think he might have got a 50 and a couple of 40s. Oh, pulled out again. He's marking out his run up again. I'm not sure why it changed from the previous 4.4 overs that he bowled. Right, let's try again. Third time lucky. He does manage to let go of it this time, and it's a good ball outside the off stump. Oh, very hit on the pads, but I guess the angle was heading away from the stumps direction and not really take serious by anybody. So that's the end of quite an interesting over. We had a boundary, we had a couple of singles, we had a wicket, we had a wide, we had a few aborted deliveries, and we're now at 54 for 2 after 9 overs. Keeping in 7. Wellington's other bowling options, I suppose, would include Jason Campbell, Jason Kilworth, Greg Stretch. Not sure who they've got in the spin department today. Nice drive from Adrian Dale, and it does beat the fielder. Bounced off his knee, but it doesn't look like Wiraparuma was really considering that second run at any point, unfortunately, so he wasn't ready to capitalise on the misfield. In terms of spinners for Wellington Tasman, I guess Greg Stretch might bowl a few of his little offies. The team's main spinner, Nav Harath, is actually sitting right next to me. He's not playing today. Steve Hewson, who would have been the main spinner in the side, injured, playing division team, batsman. So I'm not sure. And spinners. Oh, Martin Pennefather, of course. Yes, he a former districts player, now playing for Wellington, Tasman. So yeah, I'm sure. Oh, in fact, Wiraparuma looks in some trouble here. He may have pulled a calf muscle going for that first run, and he seems to be retiring hurt. We saw Mason Robinson retire hurt after scoring 100, but didn't show any outward sign of limping, whereas Chana has a definite limp as he hobbles off the field here. So that's a big blow for Auckland. Effectively 3 down now, assuming that Wiraparuma is sufficiently injured that he can't bat for now. The rule about runners is you can't have a runner until the fall of the 5th wicket. So at this point, he's not eligible to get a runner. After 5 wickets have fallen, he could return and bat with a runner if he wished. So, more bad news for Auckland. Sees Spencer Day come to the crease. Spencer Day did pretty well with the ball. And now he's got a big job to do with the bat. Known more as a batsman than a bowler, so this is his spec. Oh, starts with an edge and a spectacular catch. What a grab at first slip by Richard Petry, the skipper, one-handed. Diving away to his left, real reflex catch there, and Spencer Day has not done the job with the bat. Falls first ball. Wow, what a screamer that was. He would have hardly had any time to look at that with the keeper standing up to the crease, and he just threw his left hand out and plucked it out of the air. Amazing grab from Richard Petry. So, Auckland in all sorts of trouble here now. 55-3 plus one player retired hurt. Well, he hasn't had a bad day so far, Richard Petry, apart from losing the toss. That's about all he's done wrong. He came out at number 3 and walloped 80 not out off 49 balls, and then taking it easy at slip, he just throws out a big left mitt and pulls off an absolute screamer. So, Ofisa Tunu'u coming to the crease now. If ever there was a day for an Ofisa special, I guess this is it. Known for his big hitting, and not to mention his reverse sweeping and ramping and gliding, as he showed us in the televised rugby versus cricket match last year. Not afraid to play those shots, and he might have to do so today. The team 7.8 and over. And, oh no, it's not a trick, but the previous batsman did get a first baller. All right, here we go. Oh, and it's an edge to Petry again, but falls short of him this time. So very similar delivery. All Tunu'u could do was get a little feather of an outside edge, but it did bounce in front of Petry this time. Plenty of drama here at Horton Park number 1 on the opening day of the 2022 IPT. Oh, he's got him in trouble again there. A bit of an appeal for LBW. Trapped on the back foot, but umpire says no. And Tunu'u somehow survives that over. Good over that was from Scott McCarty. Wicket, 1 run, and a retired hurt. He's got figures of 1 for 24, 5 overs. And Auckland doing it tough at 55 for 3. A lot resting on the shoulders of Adrian Dale. Still there, 23 not out, 22 deliveries. What's he going to do? Is he going to continue playing in this aggressive manner? Or is he going to consolidate a little bit now? How much faith does he have in his in the remaining batsmen on the Auckland team. Full toss, and no timing there from Dale. He just gets it out to mid-wicket for a single. Just the two bowlers used by Firehawks so far. Clark and McCarty bowling 5 each. No run that time. Bounced lit, maybe a bit more than Dale was expecting. Just managed to fend it down on the leg side. So the run rate has just crept over 8, run rate required, it's just crept over 8 for the first time in the innings. 275 still needed off 206 balls. Oh, and I think Dale knows that too. Big, uncharacteristically wild swipe from Dale. Misses it completely. Oh, sorry, it's a wide. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt for that one. And that's another wide. That one's straight, and forward defensive from Adrian Dale. Good finish to the over from Simon Clark, and overall pretty good over despite the 2 wides, just 3 runs from it. He's bowled 6 overs now, taken 2 for 32. Wellington, Tasman continuing with their two-bowler policy as Scott McCarty prepares to bowl his sixth. So they don't use a lot of batsmen, they don't use a lot of bowlers either. Batsman bat, bowl. Fair enough. Driven firmly by Tanu'u, but can't beat mid-off. That's Tim Horn there, who I failed to mention before when I was talking about Wellington's bowling options. I'm sure he'll get a trundle at some stage with his medium paces. So Afisa Tanu'u just taking his time to get his eye in, 1 off 8 deliveries. He is a big hitter, but he does like to just take a little while to get settled. Oh, that's a good delivery from McCarty. Beats him outside the off stump. Mason Robinson never needs a second invitation to whisk off the bails, show off his glove work. Oh, well bowled again from McCarty. Beaten outside the off stump. McCarty fired up now. He was angry because somebody was walking behind the bowler's arm. So he yelled out, gave him a serve. Turned out it was his own father. That one's tickled away, down to short fine leg, just for a single. So another really good over from the Firehawks, just 1 off it. And we do finally have a bowling change. Jason Campbell coming on at the Hills end to replace Simon Clark. And Campbell, another Marlborough boy, played a little bit for Marlborough. Grew up here most of his life, lived for a couple of years in Nelson as well. And now lives in Upper Hutt, just north of Wellington. But a Marlborough lad at heart, Jason Campbell. Starts with a couple of short deliveries and is without too much power from Nu'u. And they'll just take 2. Sometimes takes a couple of balls to get his line and length right, Campbell. But once he does, he's generally pretty accurate. Missed one. Misses his length again there. It's a full toss, which Adrian Dale happily drives through the gap at cover and away to the boundary for 4. So just taking a little while to get his line right here, Jason Campbell. It's driven again, but well fielded in the covers by Hamish French, I think it is. Again hit firmly, but again straight to the fielder. It's one of the notable differences between the two innings is Wellington Tasman's team seem to find the gap just about every time, whereas the Auckland guys seem to be finding the fielders a lot. End of Campbell's first over, 6-7 off it. It's a double bowling change with Martin Pennyfather. Martin Pennyfather coming on from the city end to replace Scott McCarty. Just while we wait for Martin to set his field, I can give you an update on another Division 1 match between Canterbury Otago and Districts. Canterbury scored 239, Districts are 67 for 4. Their main batsman, Adil Samani, is still in. He's on 34 not out. And with him is Grant Hall. So plenty of work for Districts to do there, as there is for Auckland in this match. Martin Pennyfather has played for New Zealand at over-50s level. Played in their first series against Australia back in 2018. Played in the 2018 World Cup as well. Ooh. Had a bicep injury in 2019, which has affected his bowling quite a bit. He hasn't quite been the same since then. See, off spin, almost paces action. He used to be a medium pacer, but he is actually trying to turn the ball, I'm pretty sure. That has beaten the field and will go away for 4. Muscular shot from Tanu'u, and a diving McCarty couldn't get a hand on it. So welcome boundary for Auckland and for Tanu'u. That's his first. Short this time, and that's hit the gap as well, and it won't have enough timing to reach down or pull it in. They will get 2. Dead straight and 4 runs. So that was all power, that shot. Not a huge amount of timing, but he is a big lad, former All Black, and had enough on that to whoosh it down the ground for 4. End of a good over for Auckland, 11 off it. It's 18 off the last 2 overs, so little partnership starting to develop here between these two batsmen, Dale and Tunu'u. Oh, that's well bowled by Campbell. Beats Tunu'u on the outside. That is in the air and it's stunning catch by Scott Pender at square cover, leaping away to his left. He is an outstanding fielder, very, very athletic for a man of 52 or whatever he is. And he dove away like a youngster, away to his left, and plucked that out of the air with 2 hands. So, wicket for Campbell and a fairly big one with Fisa Tunu'u, one of Auckland's big hopes for a rapid innings. Won't be today. He's gone for 15. And looks like we're going to have drinks at the fall of that wicket, 3 balls ahead of schedule, with Auckland losing their 4th wicket in addition to 1 retired hurt, so they're 79 for 4, but if Weeraparoom is unable to return, then they're effectively 79 for 5, chasing Wellington Tasman enormous 331. Just take you quickly round the grounds. I mentioned districts for 6. Adil Samani, he's having a good game. He's on 40 not out of 45 deliveries after taking 3 for 23 with the ball. In Division 2, Auckland scored 194 for 9, Wellington Tasman 61 for 5. So they're struggling in their chase as well. And in the last game between Rio Otago and Division 2, Canterbury Otago scored 288 districts, making a decent fist of it. They're 103 for 1. Anthony Gavorko is on 42 off 73 balls, and Richard Boone is 38. We'll just take a short break and be back here for after the drinks break. I didn't even bring a jumper or anything from Nelson.
Oh, didn't you?
Not even my jacket. I thought, 30 degrees every day.
I thought, just, you never know, wind gets up,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I did put in the Auckland sweatshirts, I have got that. I'll probably get one of the Auckland
after the drinks break as the weather continues to get colder and colder. It's windy here, the players are rugged up, some with several jumpers. It's going to be quite a swing in the weather this week, expecting 30 plus on Sunday and Monday, but for now it's cold. As Adrian Dale starts things off with a single down to third man. Sorry, Ben Handy that is. Playing a bit of an Adrian Dale-like shot. Quite a wide stance that Handy has. A little bit Kevin Peterson-like, perhaps. Right, end of a good over from Campbell. He's got 1 for 10 from his 2. Got the breakthrough in that over. Just as that. Pennefather to continue from the city end. Oh, big full toss, which Dale hits through the gap, and that's away to the boundary for 4. You'd expect a player of his experience to be able to put away like that, find a gap, and he did. So he's moved in very characteristic fashion to 34. You don't really notice it, and suddenly he's on 34. Cuts again. This will be more runs. Just the 2 as Scott Pender races after it. So 2 more to Dale. Shortish that time, but Handy can't find the gap. Just cuts it to Greg Stretch, who I don't think I've mentioned yet in terms of fielding. He's been doing a huge amount of work to organise the tournament, but haven't seen him in a playing sense. That one's wide down the leg side, and I think it's going to go for wides, perhaps even 5 of them, or just have to wait for the umpires. Yes, it is wides, and they ran 3, so that's a total of 4 wides. So not a great from Pennefather there. But Handy runs for Auckland. They need everyone they can get. That one is to the left of Tim Horn, full toss, which he's whacked away through extra cover for 4. So it is Handy's first boundary, and it is a Handy boundary. 97 for 4, I think the score is. After 16. So at run rate, it's still 8.10 is the run rate required, but it hasn't, shot out. It was 5 overs ago that it was 8 and over, so the last few overs they have scored some runs, but it's those 4 wickets that are really hurting, plus the retired hurt from Chanawera Paruma. He'll be able to return at the fall of the next wicket, I believe, if required. That one's driven down the ground. It won't go for 4 as Greg stretches after it, but they do take 2. Ooh, big swing from Dale. I'm not sure what he was really hoping for with that shot, but he didn't get it. Again, aggressive from Dale, but he can't beat the field this time, so looking a little bit frustrated, Adrian Dale, which is not something you usually see from him. He's usually very calm, even when chasing a largish total. Ooh, and beaten again. Good bowling from Campbell this. Only the 2 runs off the first 5 balls of this over. Dale kind of admits a minor defeat in that over by respectfully blocking the final ball. So, excellent over from Jason Campbell, just 2 off it. He has 1 for 12 from 3 overs. Meanwhile, Martin Pennefather has been quite expensive, going for 27 off 2, and looks like he's been given a spell. Jason Kilworth is going to come on from the city end, making it an all Wakatu Cricket Club bowling attack. Jason Kilworth, a member of the Wakatu Cricket Club, and his fellow Jason Campbell, formerly of Wakatu, which also happens to be my club, and also the club of the wicketkeeper Mason Robinson. So it's a real Wakatu affair today. Hello to any Wakatu cricket members who may be watching today. Hope you're enjoying watching all the Wakatuvians. Oh, whoopsie. Kilworth starts with a big wide. Oh, in fact it's gone for 4, so it's 5 wide, so not a...
4 leg byes.
Oh, leg byes, was it?
Yep.
Okay, leg byes, so 4 leg byes, it's not quite so bad. In fact, it's quite a lot better from the bowler's perspective, because they don't even go against... Full toss, but Handy can't do anything with that one except drive it up to mid-off where Tim Horn is steady and safe. Handy with that extremely wide, exaggeratedly wide stance that he has. Tries to swing that one away as a bit of a mix-up, and he has managed to get back. Real confusion there. The ball went down the leg side, and Handy took off for what would have been a bye. It wasn't signalled wide, so I guess it would have been a bye or a leg bye, but Dale sent him back, and he had to scurry back as the underarm throw from Richard Petry didn't quite hit the stumps. If it had, I think Handy would have been gone. So, ball. One bounces a little bit more on Handy, but again no run. So, it actually turns out to be a maiden, I think. Despite the 4-leg byes at the start, as I said, they don't go against the bowler, so maiden over. And that run rate that we just talked about 2 overs ago as being 8.1 has now crept up to 8.5. So it just shows what a couple of tight overs can do when you're chasing 331. Dale cuts and in the air and just to the left of the outstretched hands of Scott Pender, who had pulled off a pretty athletic catch a few overs ago. That would have been even more amazing if he'd caught that. Consider the opinion. Thank you, Anthony. Anthony Telfer also happens to be the organiser of the Australian State Championships, which is the equivalent of the tournament that you're watching now. He's put a huge amount of work into trying to organise that tournament, and sadly it's had to be postponed again due to the increasingly serious COVID situation in Australia at the moment. So real shame there. New Zealand was hoping to send a New Zealand A team and a New Zealand B team to that tournament. And perhaps now that it's been postponed till November, we may indeed be able to do so, hopefully. It's a wide ball. So it's great to hear from our viewers around the world. Great to see that people are watching the coverage. You can, of course, just go to the Facebook site for New Zealand Over-50s cricket. That will have all the links to all the live streaming, all the scoring, etc. As we see Ben Handy unable to capitalise on that full toss. Just hits it to cover for no run. More good bowling from Jason Kilworth, and Handy can't do anything except just dig that one out and bunt it back to the bowler. Run rate creeping up all the time, up to 8.7 now. Auckland really needs something special at this stage. It was about this time that it's a full toss, which Handy can only hit down too long on for a single. Those are the sort of balls that really need to find the gap and go away for 4 if Auckland are going to have any chance in this match. So, single to end the over. Score is Nelson. Even though we're in Blenheim, just down the road, we can 2 hours away from Nelson, which is where both of the bowlers at the moment, well, they don't come from there, but both of them played there. One of them, Jason Campbell, he's going to continue into his 5th over. That's a swing appeal for LBW, and that's been given. Bit of a wild swipe from Handy, which, to be fair, he probably needed to do things like that, but Campbell was straight, and the umpire said that was going to hit the wickets. So, Nelson strikes for the Nelson bowler. 1-1-1-5 now. Handy was out for 8 from 16 deliveries, and we're not going to see the return to the crease of Chanawera Paruma just yet. It's going to be Neil Ronaldson coming in at 7. Second wicket in the innings for Jason Campbell. He's got 2 for 16 from 4. But Jason Campbell has now found his length, as I suspected he would, and he's proven quite hard to hit away. Ronaldson just gets a single there as it goes out to extra cover. Looks like we've got someone in the sight screen there. He's been politely asked to continue his calisthenics elsewhere. Campbell continues, and Dale drives him square on the leg side just for a single. To end Campbell's 5th over, he has 2 for 18. Division 2 scorecard, Wellington 10, 109. Lovely shot from Dale, finding the gap behind point on the offside. He'll get a couple of runs. And in the final match in Division 2, Districts are chasing Canterbury's 288. Oh, that's gone high in the air. It'll take some catching by Petry, but he's got a safe pair of hands, and he's taken the important wicket, the vital wicket of Adrian Dale. To whack it away on the leg side. All he could do was get a top edge, and it's flown up, and Petry did good work to get back there. Had to move about 20 yards with the wind swirling around. Did so and pouched it. Adrian Dale dropped a similar catch himself. His one was probably hard, but very similar. Anyway, so Dale's gone. 47 he scored. Huge wicket, and you'd suggest that with him, perhaps go Auckland's chances of winning this game. So we are going to see the return of Chanawera Paruma now, batting with a runner, and he's chosen quite a good man to be his runner, I'd suspect. Spencer Day, perhaps the fastest runner in this tournament. Definitely one of them. Still, batting with a runner is never easy, especially when you need to score at 9 and over. Just quickly back to that Division 2 match. Districts, they need 135 runs off 90 balls. That's about 9.3 and over. Petry, they had a couple of useful scores. Anthony Gavorko scored 47, although it took him 82 balls. And Richard Boone, he got 49 off 77. Rex Davies, he's in on 20, and Bruce Nichols, he's on 14. So the batsman crossed while that ball was in the air, meaning that Neil Ronaldson will be on strike. And he's beaten outside the off stump. So more good bowling from Jason Kilworth, who, to be honest, doesn't get much of a bowl for his club side, which just happens to be my club side as well. More of a batsman in that team. Perhaps the captain's watching today. As Ronaldson swings the ball away on the leg side, but there is a man on the deep square leg boundary, and it's just speak, the square leg's coming inside the circle and the deep mid wicket is moving a little squarer. Got a long on who's coming inside the circle, long off's going back. Oh, it's because we've got a left-hander, of course, with the return of Weeraparuma. And there's a man at deep backward square leg for Weeraparuma. Quite a few changes being made here by Richard Petry, the Firehawk captain, as the left-hander returns. So left armour to left-hander, Kilworth to Weeraparuma. Weeraparuma is straight into his characteristic flowing cover drive, but even that looked pretty painful. Struggling with what we think is a calf injury. It's down the long hop from Kilworth. 4 runs to Weeraparuma ends that over, which had 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 runs and a wicket and a wide, so plenty happening there. 126. We are just about at the halfway point of this innings in terms of overs, but we're more than halfway through in terms of wickets and nowhere near halfway toward run target.
The rain's come back 2 overs too late.
Looks like we might have a bit of rain about. I don't think that was really called today, was it? But,
Someone suggested 4 o'clock, and it's 4:41.
I'm pretty sure it won't save Auckland. That is a catch that's been dropped. Dropped catch at mid-off. Can't quite tell who that fielder is up there. Might be Colin Owens. I don't want to accuse anyone. Oh, it's Simon Clark, I think. Seems like I'm accusing Simon Clark of dropping that catch. It was hit straight to him, off the back foot. You'd have to say fairly catchable. It's the first dropped catch of the Wellington Tasman fielding effort. Auckland dropped, well, probably about there was also a caught and bowled. Yeah, technically there were maybe 4 catches, but 3 of them were probably catchable. Oh, that's well bowled from Campbell. It's Weeraparuma fends at that one. Can't get anything on. Weeraparuma sweeps, but I think it's going to be a leg by vision with all the only 2 of whom can run. Leg by signalled. It's well bowled again, good length, but he's going to concede 4 runs for it as Ronaldson swings hard and it goes through the empty slip area down to the empty third man area, and 4 runs to Ronaldson. It's the end of another good over from Campbell. 5 runs plus a leg by off it. So, Auckland over-50s need 205 runs off 132 balls with 4 wickets in hand. Their current run rate is 5.52, which sounds pretty good, but their required run rate is 9.32. Not impossible, especially if they had lots of wickets in hand, but they don't, with 6 wickets having fallen. So 4 wickets in hand, 205 off 132. Weeraparuma pulls that behind square one-handed and it's away to the boundary for 4. So second boundary for Chana, takes him to 8. And you'd have to say that ball got at least what it deserved. Another long hop from Kilworth. He has bowled a couple today. Getting a little bit of advice from Scott McCarty, the wicketkeeper, maybe a little bit of a telling off or some hints on the batsman's technique. Let's see if he's willing or able to heed that advice. It is fuller, very full, and Chana can only just push it into the offside for no run. It's a bit shorter, but again, Chana can't do much with it. I'm sure he's hampered by that sore leg of his. Oh, that has beaten the batsman and the leg stump and the wicket keeper, and it's gone 5 runs for 3. One. Yeah, Weeraparum is really struggling here with that leg injury. That's going to be, you'd suspect, a tournament-ending injury, which is a real shame for Weeraparum and for Auckland. That is a good blow from Neil Ronaldson as the ball heads out towards the deep mid-wicket boundary. It won't go to the boundary, and it'll be 2 runs. Good length delivery, that one. There's not much Ronaldson can do. I think he's got some bat on that one, is it? No, leg byes in fact. Just one leg bye. Just a reminder that Weeraparum is batting with a runner, so if you're wondering, run on your screen there. Oops. Oh. Once again, runners are allowed in this tournament, but only after the fall of the 5th wicket. As we see Ronaldson again swinging the ball away on the leg side, and this time he has got enough on it to reach. So 4 runs for Ronaldson to end the 25th over. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 off it, one of which was a leg bye. So Auckland need fewer than 200 runs now, in addition to the 142 they've already scored. And keeping up the Nelson Marlborough bowling attack, we have Marlborough cricket legend Greg Stretch to bowl some off-spin from the city end. Greg Stretch is, I believe, Marlborough's most capped player of all time. Played over 150 times for the province. Would know this ground probably better than anyone in human history. Also has served Marlborough cricket extremely well. He's been the chairman and probably every other possible position there is. He's been one of the main organisers of this tournament. His son Matthew Stretch plays for Marlborough. So a real hero in these parts. No pressure, Greg. Well, he may have a wicket first ball. No, he asks for it, but the umpire, obviously not a local man himself, or he would have given that out. Oh, how about that one? He's asking for it again, and this time he's got it. So, first ball didn't get the result he wanted, second ball did. And Chanawira Paruma trying to swing that one away on the leg side, made no contact, and the umpire adjudicated that that would have hit the wickets. Therefore, it's LBW. So, local legend wastes no time in taking wicket. 1 for none for Greg Stretch. And Auckland lose another wicket. Their seventh wicket. It was Chanawira Paruma. What did he make? 9. 9 off 16 balls. Dean Askew's the new batsman. The angular figure of Dean Bones Askew. Bit of a legend himself, really. Played first-class cricket for Central Districts in Auckland. Has played for New Zealand Over-50s since its initiation in 2018. Played rugby for King Country as a fullback. And he likes to hit a long ball as well. So, with the run rate required, virtually 10, I don't think he'll mess around here. Particularly strong over mid-wicket is Dean Askew. Auckland are not even halfway to their target. The required run rate is exactly 10. They have 3 wickets left. Very little chance. I think we're going to see another bowling change. We asked Tim Horn from Hill End. I think those are the Wither Hills. Just check with our local scorer. Are those the Wither Hills in the distance? Yes, they are the Wither Hills End. Okay, so Tim Horn, another person doing his first thing for the tournament, and he starts with a short delivery, which Neil Ronaldson has managed to hit for 4. I didn't think he'd hit it quite that well, but he slapped it just to the left of extra cover, and it's gone for 4. So not a great start to the IPT for Tim Horn, but here's time to commence. Ooh, Dean Askew beaten outside the off stump. Ooh, get back, and he does. Is pitched away by Askew and plenty of pace on the ball. Gives the third man no chance. It's pretty one-sided over in the second game between Canterbury, Otago and Districts. Districts chasing 240 are 152 for 7 after 37 overs. So they have 8 overs left to get, 80, 90 runs. Simon Dodds is having a good game. His first of over-50s cricket. He's on 49 not out from 32 deliveries. Andrew Nuttall, as always in the wickets, 3 for 41 from 9. And a fellow 60-plus year old, Tony Gray, 2 for 26 off 9. So the two elder statesmen of that side doing the best bowling. That's whacked away by Ronaldson, and for 4. The fielder couldn't get around there, so firm truck down by square on the leg side. So those are the first runs that Greg Stretch has conceded. And Neil Ronaldson moves into the 20s, 22 he is. Okay. Well, that's well bowled. Full that time. Not much Ronaldson could do with it. Catches the call, but it's gone dead straight and under the sight screen behind the bowler for 4 runs. So another good wallop from Neil Ronaldson. That's his 5th boundary. And suddenly Greg Stretch's figures not looking quite as good as they were. That's a better delivery. Another appeal for LBW. Not out this time. Winds up again on that one. Is it going to beat the fielder at deep mid-wicket? It is. So 3rd boundary in the over. Neil Ronaldson pulling out the long handle and hitting boundaries all around the ground. Well, on the leg side at least. 4 more to him. He's suddenly up to 30. 30 off 21. And that run rate is down below 10. Just. Another big hit from Ronaldson. I think that's the best of the lot. It is. It's cleared the long on boundary by some distance. I didn't actually see exactly what happened to it, but
We did the tennis courts wood back at the neighbour's house.
I think it's cleared the fence on the other side of the driveway beyond the field. In fact, it is, as Jason Kilworth is being boosted over the fence as we speak, and he's disappearing into the neighbour's backyard. How he's going to get back from there, I'm not exactly sure. They may the Firehawks may sacrifice him. Oh no, he's somehow made his way back over. So yes, that was a lusty blow from Ronaldson. 6 runs, of course. And Greg Stretch's figures taking a hammering in that over. He went for 12-18 from that over. He has won 4-18 from 2 overs. So good hitting from Neil Ronaldson, 36 not out from 22 deliveries. In Division 2 action, Districts versus Canterbury Otago. The Canterbury Otago mainlanders scored 288. Districts are 199 for 5 after 37. So they need 90 runs from 8 overs. And they have 5 wickets in hand. Well bowled again by Tim Horn, beating Dean Askew. Close game in the other Division 2 game. Could go either way, this one. Auckland 194 for 9. I'll come back to that in a moment. As Dean Askew finds the gap at cover, but there is backup there. Yes, just back to that game quickly. Auckland scored 194. Wellington, Tasman 153. Oh, sorry, they're 153 for 9. I didn't notice the wickets column there. So they need another 40 runs or so from 10 overs, but just the 1 wicket left. As we see, Neil Ronaldson more vertically than horizontally though, and it does pitch and stop inside the boundary just for 2 runs. Yeah, so just quickly finishing off on that game, the Wellington Tasman side have their numbers 10 and 11 at the crease, requiring about 40 runs off the last 10 overs. So the run rate's not too bad, but it's the 1 wicket in hand, which will be difficult. .29 overs gone, 174 for 7. Auckland over their next, which is pretty going. And they need 9.9 from here on in. I guess the longer they can keep that run rate at below 10, the easier it'll get. If they only need 9 over from the last 4 or 5 overs, that's certainly doable, but they are a long way away. 158 runs needed. Greg Stretch getting another over. He's had one good one and one bad one. So let's see what this one produces. No run there. Askew wanted one initially, but thought better of it. And he won't get a run this time either. That's 3 dots in a row. We haven't seen a lot of aggression from Dean Askew. He's usually quite keen to open the shoulders, as he does on that occasion with a characteristic flick, but there's the man back at deep square leg, so just the one. Neil Ronaldson has been aggressive, 39 off 25, and he's aggressive again, but misses that one completely. In the first IPT back in 2019, he scored a couple of rapid centuries, half centuries, with I think he hit 10 sixes in that tournament. Tries to hit one there, but Greg Stretch angling the ball across him for those last 2 deliveries, stopping him from getting the angle that he wanted. So pretty good over from Stretch again, just the one run coming from it. And that run rate required suddenly up to 10.47. So it just takes one quiet over, and you add half a run required to the rate.
Drinks? No. Tippy drinks.
There is a drinks break scheduled for right now after 30 overs, but perhaps the players have decided to push through. So I think the fielding team has the option to decline a drinks break. Certainly not too hot out there. And they may feel that they have a good chance of taking these last 3 wickets and then having a drink perhaps of a different variety. Again, Askew defensive. He's faced 17 balls for just 7 runs. I'm not sure I've seen an innings like this from Dean Askew. Still can't get a run there as Scott Pender comes racing around and flings the ball back into the keeper. So just the one wide off this over so far, and we've had 4 legitimate deliveries, 4 dots. Short this time, and it's hit over cover, but there is a cover sweeper back there, so just a single. Didn't really leave Ronaldson a lot of time being impactful in this over. He may opt to just push for a single and get himself back on strike for the next over. I think that's what he was trying to do, but he's actually timed it really well, and it's gone backward a point for 4. So nicely hit from Neil Ronaldson. That's his 7th boundary to go with a big 6 he hit before, and he's on 43 from 28. It's a good batting from him. Strike rate of 153. As we see Scott McCarty leaving the field for some reason, he's still got the keeping gloves and helmet on, so presumably he's coming back, but could be a bathroom break, but he doesn't seem to be rushing. Oh, okay, so in fact, yes, we do just have Mason Robinson back on the field as keeper with his own keeping kit. Usually when you see a change of keepers, they exchange kit, but not in this case. Anyway, Greg Stretch to continue. Dean Askew again forward defensiving it. So I'm not sure what Askew's tactics are here. Oh, there we go. That's what they are. That's a classic Dean Askew swipe over mid-wicket. 4 runs into the little bank there at Cow Corner. Well hit from Bones, as he's known. I suspect that's to do with his physique. Lanky, tall player. Presumably has the same number of bones as most people. I'm not sure he's called Bones because he has extra bones. He's gone same shot again, just squarer, and same result, 4 more into Redwood Street. So he's got his iron now, and he's pulled out the slog sweep that he's well known for. 2 balls in a row. So Greg Stretch continuing his good over, bad over pattern that we've seen in the 3.3 overs that he's bowled so far. Same shot again. This could be a catch. No, it's been dropped, and I think it might have actually been picked. Indeed, it's bad luck. Who's the fielder out there? It's quite a long way away from us, but I'll make an accusation in a moment. But it was hit straight to him quickly, but wasn't able to catch it. In fact, just bounced out of the hands and over the boundary for 6. It might be Simon Clark again. I'm hesitant to blame him for 2 catches, but it could be. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Same shot again from Askew, but this time he doesn't connect, and it's the end of the stretch over that conceded 14. So I think his first one was a maiden, second one went for 17 or something, third one went for 1, and now that one's gone for 14. So maybe he should only bowl every second over. Askew's got his total up to 22 from 26, so that's a strike rate of 84. And it looks like the players are having a drink now. Some of them are, or the batsmen are. It does look quite unpleasant out there, to be honest. The flags are rattling away in the wind, and the players are rugged up in as many sweaters and jumpers and vests as they can find. The big tree at the far end of the ground is waving vigorously. And even here in the shelter of this room that we're scoring and speaking to you from. It's still quite chilly. Good little partnership, this. What's it worth? About 53 run partnership between Ronaldson and Askew. Thank you to Richard Horner, our scorer, for instantly knowing that, or making it up and making it sound convincing. Ronaldson is the second top scorer in this innings. Adrian Dale scored 47 and Ronaldson's on 43. As Tim Horn starts this over with a wide. John Cleland scored 23 at the top of the order, and Dean Askew's now on 22. I'll run through the batting card in a moment. As we see Ronaldson have a big swing and a miss, and again Mason Robinson, the lumberjack, whisks off the bails just to show everyone that he's there. And then, in typical spirit of cricket fashion, puts the bails back on to save the umpire the trouble. This one's cut away by Ronaldson, down to third man, just a single. So the Auckland card, John Cleland caught Campbell, bowled Clark for 23. John Voinovich stumped Robinson, bowled Clark for 2. Adrian Dale caught Petry, bowled Kilworth for 47. Chanawera Paruma, he retired hurt and then came back and then was LBW to Greg Stretch for 9. Spencer Day, well, he got a first, caught Petry, bowled McCarty. Officer Tunuu, 15, was caught Pender, bowled Campbell. And Ben Handy, he was LBW to Campbell for 8. Last wicket was Wera Paruma. He was out with the score at 1-2. It's now 197, so 55 run partnership between these two as Ronaldson flat bats that straight back down the ground, baseball style. I thought he'd timed it at first. He maybe hasn't timed it that well, but enough to go for 4. Just baseballed it back down past the bowler, trickled under the sight screen for 4. So, Neil Ronaldson becomes the top scorer in the innings, moving on to 48 from just 31 deliveries. I think this will be his third IPT 50 if he can get there. He got 2, I'm pretty sure, in the first edition of the tournament, but I don't think he got one last year. Didn't have a great time with the ball in hand, Ronaldson. So he'll be happy to take something out of this match, I think. Dabs that away for 1. To end an over that conceded 4, 5, 6, 8 runs. And the 200 came up in that over for Auckland. In pretty good time, 6.15 is their run rate, which generally is pretty good. If they were batting first, we'd think it was a competitive total, but in reality, we know that Wellington and Tasman scored 331 without loss. So Greg Stretch's topsy-turvy bowling spell has come to an end, and Scott McCarty, who opened the bowling, will return to the bowling crease. He had a pretty good opening spell, 6 overs, no maidens, 1 for 25. Taking the wicket of Spencer Day. He starts with a ball down the leg side, which Ronaldson can't really capitalise on. Gets a single though, and that takes him to 50. So well batted, Neil Ronaldson. 50 off 33 deliveries, 8 fours, 1 6. And Askew finds a little gap to the left of Greg Stretch. Trundles after it, but not before they can get 2. And a rare sight, Scott McCarty taking off a jumper, or anyone taking off a layer of clothing. Obviously this bowling is warming up a little bit. Ooh, as we see a great delivery there. So maybe the losing of a layer has loosened him up, and that was a really nice delivery to Askew, beating him outside the off stump. That one is poked away down to third man. They'll come back for 2. The fielder didn't fire it in the first time. There was a chance of a run out if he let go early doors. I think it was Petry. So they do get 2 to Askew. That's flicked away on the leg side this time. There's no one within cooey of that one. I mean, the nearest fielder is having to run from about 70 metres away to chase that one, or to retrieve it really. It was just hit 45 degrees on the leg side, into the boundary for 4. And I'm pretty sure that is Simon Clark running around to retrieve that one, so I'm fairly safe in my accusation that it was him who dropped the catch previously. There's no statute of limitations on these these accusations. Well, it's a wide. So runs coming for Auckland. This partnership is flowing. Had 10 runs off this over so far, with still a ball to go. And there'll be more runs here. Just 1 as Askew pushes it out to Simon Clark, who, to his credit, fields it safely and returns the throw in. 11 off the over, 2:14 for 7. Askew is 32, Ronaldson is 50. We have 11 overs to go, and to win this game, Auckland need 118 runs off 66 deliveries with 3 wickets in hand. Can they do it? District still a chance in that other game. They need 30. What do they need? 40 runs from 3 overs. come back to that in a moment as we see a great shot from Neil Ronaldson. He has creamed that past mid-off. Mid-off didn't have to move far, but he didn't actually get anywhere close to it. It was hit really powerfully by Ronaldson. So another boundary to him, his 9th. And he's 56. So district's doing really well. Simon Dodds, 73 not out. Oh, there's a good bit of fielding from McCarty, diving away to his right. Probably didn't fancy the chase after it, so he threw his body at it. He may have landed on the ball. He's still down, getting up slowly now, but the result is 1 run. Yeah, it looks like the ball may have he may have landed on the ball on his ribs. Protection there. One run to Askew. Yes, so Simon Dodds batting for Districts in the other match. He's on 73 off 48, and he's almost single-handedly brought Districts to the point where they need 40 runs to win off the last 17 deliveries. It's still a tough ask, but while he's still in... Oh, okay. Oh, he's been given out, I think, here, run out. There's been a collision between the batsman and the bowler, but before that happened, I guess he was out of his ground. So good piece of fielding from whoever that was. And Ronaldson is gone. Big wicket again. It does look like that match between Districts and Canterbury Otago is over, so I guess that heroic last wicket stand was finally broken, which is unfortunate for Districts, but great effort from Simon Dodds nonetheless. And speaking of heroics, Neil Ronaldson's are over. He scored 57 before. I think that was the last ball of the over. Yes, it was. Do we know who the fielder was?
No.
Probably, I think it was Pender.
It's really a sort of cover to point. Extra cover.
Batsmen crossed, attempting their first run, but it wasn't successfully completed. Ronaldson's out. The new batsman is Reece Henderson. It's a new over. Scott McCarty's recovered enough to bowl. And he will be bowling to Reece Henderson. So one suspects that with the fall of Neil Ronaldson's wicket, that might also be the end of Auckland's slim chances of winning this game. But you never know. Here's McCarty to Henderson.
It was a lucky run out, you see, it had the bowler and just dropped off his hand onto the...
Okay.
So he didn't have the ball in his hand.
Henderson's off the mark with a drive down to long on for a single. SQ's hit that well, but just out to the cover sweeper, and a single for him as well. I think I missed some stuff in that over.